ओमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्उन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरि ओम तत्सत। So a very good morning to all the devotees assembled, and please accept my humble obeisances. So today it's Ekadashi, and I have been given a specific topic to discuss on, which is about how to become an instrument in the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. So let us try and see this. I have one second. Yeah. So we will try and see this topic in a little more elaborately, how to become an instrument in the hands of Lord Sri Krishna. So this is the topic. I have sort of prepared a small presentation. I thought I will put that up so that it becomes a little interesting for devotees to see a screen. Is it visible now?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so now in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna says in the 11th chapter, the 33rd verse, he is saying, Tasmat tvam uttishto yasho labasva jitva shatrun bhunksva rajyam samrudam mayaivaiti nihataha purvam eva nimitta matram bhavasavya sakshi. So this line, nimitta matram bhavasavya sakshi, is the focused line for us, where while this verse says, you please get up, after giving the entire Bhagavad Gita, the complete knowledge, all the doubts that Arjuna had, he is now telling direct instructions to Arjuna. Krishna is saying this, very, very important. Now he says, I've told you everything, this is the subject matter, now this is the conclusion. And there he is saying, now you get up, you just get up and fight this war and win this war. And he is saying, what is the result is you get this entire kingdom. And I have already caused whatever needs to happen. That means the war, that means it naturally means defeating the other party, means killing the enemies. That has already happened. I have done it. You just get up and fight and enjoy the benefits of what I have done. See, he is saying, Mai vaite nihitaha purvam eva. I have already done all these things. And he says, what is your role? Nimitta matram bhavasavya sakshin. You just have to become my instrument, that is all. Bhava, become. Savya sakshin means Arjuna. Nimitta matram, become my instrument, O Arjuna. Become merely an instrument, O Arjuna. So what is that, in summary means? We need to align all our actions, our thoughts and heart with Krishna. That is all. It is not that, you lose your existence. It's like, when a particular item is prepared, let's say a fridge, the property of the fridge is that it should be able to give coolness. This is by nature the expectation of that property, of that particular product. So, as long as the fridge is continuing to give that coolness, it is called a fridge. If it suddenly starts giving heat, it is not a fridge. So it is not within its properties. Like that, when we talk about ourselves, we are actually an instrument in the hands of Krishna by nature. Unfortunately, we are not able to realize that, so we are becoming something else, which is basically in a mad state, if we can call this. Like, if I have to give it a simple example, you will see sometimes some people, on the road, simply shouting, I am the Prime Minister, and he will be walking. And generally, what do people do when they see such people? They will slightly move away from that because they know this guy is mad. He's not within his senses. So, while we think of this of such people, actually, if you really look at it, every human being is actually mad. Because he is thinking that he is something which he is not. Right? So if I ask me, I will say, I have a big role in a corporate. I have I'm the head of a so and so family. Which is all related to the body. But actually, who am I? So that is, we are part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, we are eternal servitors of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Actually, eternal servitor. Eternally, not just for some time. Okay, till my sadhana period is there, I am actually a servant, but after that, I am the master. No. We are eternally the Supreme, the servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has clearly said. Now the question now is, how do I actually become cured of this disease and be situated in my constitutional position? This is what Prabhupada keeps writing, constitutional position, constitutional position. Constitutional position means what is your natural property? Are you in that situation or not? If you are in that situation, you are in constitutional position. If you are not, then you are literally diseased condition. Prabhupada says like that. In this context, it's like being mad, not being myself, but trying to act like I am something else. So that's why all we need to do is, while we have our independence, because we are also minute Ishwaras, right? We are minute Ishwaras. Not that I am saying we are God, but we have, being part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we also have that quality of what is there in that Lord, but in minute component. Therefore, when he has independence, naturally we have independence. So, but only rider to that is that independence should be used to be discreet, but still do the same constitutional function, which is be serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is, align actions, thoughts, and heart with Krishna. Now, if you have to go a little more deeper, the topic here is instrument, right? What are the characteristics of an instrument? So here you see the best instrument in relation to Krishna. The minute you think about it, we always remember the flute, the musical instrument, flute. Now, if you really see this flute, there is a story about this flute. I think that could be a class by itself. But the flute went through so much of difficulties before it became a flute. Right? It has to be chiseled, it has to be drilled, it has to be, so many things it has to go through. But why did it go through all of that? Like, if you really think about it, even the best of gopis, they may not have got that, the bliss that this flute gets. So it went through some of those difficulties, but at the end what it has got is, it has got that benediction to be with Krishna 24/7. And you can go a little more deeper into that, not simply being with him, being touched by his lips all the time. Your gopi can dream of it, but this is something which is mind-boggling. We talk about the nectar, from Krishna and all that, but if you just imagine, it is in with the lips of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, from which all this knowledge comes, all the, whatever Krishna, we say, no, Maduram, Maduram, Maduradipate. Now there, your words are nectar. There are some many wonderful things like that. So all of that is coming from that mouth, and this flute is always in connect with that. So that is actually the glory of becoming an instrument in the hand of Krishna. I'm taking the most highest of that example of actually connecting with Krishna as an instrument. Of course, Arjuna, everyone is in that mode, but taking this example of a flute, and with that flute, he is mesmerizing the entire world, right? The flute, there are different types. I once gave a class on that. I forget. We just prepare at that time. There are many different types of flutes which Krishna has in that, and which each one he creates a different kind of a melody with which does a different purpose. One flute only for the gopis, one flute for to mesmerize the entire world. Different flutes are there, but all of that are simply, if you ask what is it, it is simply a hollow tube. But that tube, which is hollow, does it have a song in it? Does it have a rhythm in it? Nothing. It is simply a hollow tube which has got a few holes. But when it is actually accepting to be used, allow the air from the user of the flute to flow through it, different melodies come out through it. And Krishna is such a great musician. When I am saying, when I being used as a flute, then the person who is playing that instrument, that way we should think, Krishna can bring out the best in that person. I am simply an instrument. I don't have the capacity to bring the rhythm from within it. But the user of that instrument can bring the best out of that. So in that sense, when I become an instrument in the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I am at my best. Everybody wants to be the best in whatever they do. But if you really want to be the best in what you do, one needs to simply become an instrument in the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that's why that hollow out the ego. Don't think I am the doer. I am simply the instrument. I will play the tune which the Lord wants me to play. Period. I have nothing to do with me as the person who does based on my capacity. So this is very, very important. And when you say remove the ego, there are so many things which are external, so many things which are internal. So removing the internal blockages is the second aspect of it. So externally is one thing, internally one thing. Actually, a lot of things happen internally before it also shows externally. So for example, if there are some trees, there are some trees which I am aware of. Once it is planted, I think those trees actually grow 200 feet or 100 feet above the ground. So when they plant such trees, for years together nothing happens. So people think, oh, what I put this seed and it is not growing, it is dead. But actually what is happening is, suddenly after many years, suddenly one small shoot comes out. People are surprised. But actually why did it take so long for it to actually come out is because if you understand the biology of those trees, those who study the research, they are able to understand that tree has actually been growing roots underneath up to this point in time. Before it gave out a small shoot up above the ground, but below the ground it has been growing many feet down underneath the ground, because it has to sustain that 100 feet or whatever the size above the ground. That means how much of foundation is required. So effectively, if I have to become a nice instrument in the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, so many things has to happen internally which is not seen, but that is the foundation for what is seen outside. So these two things I thought were important. Externally we should be performing what the Lord wants us to perform, and to do that internally, what all cleansing has to happen, what all blockages have to be removed, what all what do you call wrong understanding have to be reversed inside the mind. There are many things like that which we can go on, and each aspect can become one elaborate research by itself. They say, right? This something when we call about the how one the how one gradually progresses to becoming actually a nice devotee. We all know this, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam. All that is the 9 process of that. But before that, there is first and foremost thing is you come in contact with the devotees, then you start doing bhajana kriya. There is the stage which is called as anartha nivritti. I think that is the 4th stage or the 3rd stage. So the anartha nivritti is the most important aspect of it. That is this remove the internal blockages. So this anartha nivritti is actually correcting what is all gone wrong. So right from our understanding which is wrong, I rectify that. Like this, there are so many things because of me thinking I am the doer. The first point, the ego, I am the doer, and everything is happening because of me, to understanding that I am simply an instrument in the hand of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is a reversal of the entire thought process in our head. That anartha nivritti, I have heard some senior devotees speak about it, that this anartha nivritti may sometimes take few lifetimes. People will do the initial stages all okay, sadhu sangha, bhajana kriya, which is fine. But coming to most people, or majority of the process, majority of the time is spent in this anartha nivritti zone, where it takes it could take many years. Not that it has to take, but it could take, depending on the person's outlook. It may take many I don't know, years or lifetimes also. But Prabhupada is so merciful that he is saying, you simply do what I am telling you, 16 rounds of chanting, follow the regulative principles, I will take you back. That is His mercy. But we can't take it for granted, right? So we need to try to also understand all these things and try to abide.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everybody. So just let's wait for Prabhuji to join back. It's a power connection issue. Devotees, Prabhu is joining in now, another 2 minutes.
Okay, so I'm off video to save bandwidth. I will share the screen now. I'm audible, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Sorry for the interruption. So we were discussing about this anartha nivritti. So that is very important. So that stage is very important in one becoming an instrument in the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one is the externally, how do we actually act as the instrument of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and for doing that one needs to remove the internal blockages, which is basically the foundation which will make us actually do that. These two are an integral part of that thing. So now let's look at another verse from Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna is saying a very famous verse, कर्मण्ये वादिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन मा कर्म फल हेतुर्भुर् मा ते संगोस्त्व
Hare
कर्मणि.
Krishna, Prabhuji, your voice is breaking. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Your
Can
voice
you
is
hear me
breaking,
better?
Prabhuji.
Is it okay now?
Yet.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible, Prabhuji, but there was some disturbance and your voice was breaking.
Okay. Right now, is it okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, it's okay now.
Okay. So this particular verse from Srimad Bhagavad Gita 2.47, you have a right to perform your prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. So this is a very, very power-packed verse if you really understand each word of it. You have a right to perform your prescribed duty, fine, which means I am independent, I can perform my duties, but what kind of duties? Prescribed duties. But you are not entitled to the fruits of action. That means it's not that you do those activities for the sake of your pleasure. Whatever actions you do, whatever results that come, is not for your sake. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, because you thought you did it, but actually you did not do it. And never be attached to not doing your activity. Therefore, can I say, anyway, I have no connection to this work. You say I did not do it. So why I should even do it, and I should not experience the results of it? It's not mine, you are saying. So then why should I do it? Then he is also saying, never be attached to not doing your duty. That means you cannot simply sit idle thinking, I don't have the benefits of this result, so why I should do it. So these three considerations are there. Prabhupada very nicely writing in the purport. Prescribed duties. Prescribed duties are activities enjoined in terms of one's acquired modes of material nature. So we can't whimsically do what we want to do. It's not allowed. What is prescribed, and prescribed we all know, each instrument can do certain things. It cannot do things which are not meant for it in one sense. Of course, Krishna can use any instrument. He can play the flute from the front and also from the back. From the top end or from the bottom end. That is a different story. But as far as the flute is concerned, how should it behave? That is important. So we have got our own gunas, the three gunas, sattva, rajo and tamo. And in our constitutional position as the servant, and we may be caught up in these three modes of nature, and also based on our position in the society, we may be taking up a specific role to play. And how do we use all of that in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And then the other one is capricious work, Prabhupada writes. Capricious work means actions with the sanction of without the sanction of authority. That means, the minute you say sanction of the authority, those are actions which are directed by the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. That is the sanction. So we are not supposed to do actions which are not sanctioned. That means we act according to the order of the spiritual master. Simple words. Don't have to complicate it too much. Sanction of the authority means act as per the directions of the spiritual master, who is basically representing the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Then inaction. Inaction means not performing one's prescribed duties. The Lord advised that Arjuna not be inactive, but that he perform his prescribed duty without being attached to the result. So we have to do our duty, but we should not be attached to the result. We cannot simply say, I am renounced, I have nothing to do. That is not the way. If you really want to be an instrument, you have to act. And act how? Act as per the directions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In other words, act as per the instructions of the act as per the instructions of the spiritual master. And we need to do the right things, not what we want to do whimsically. So now you put all of these things into context. All our actions has to be aligned to the scriptures, to the order of the spiritual master. And inaction is not a choice. These three things are important. How can we do all of this? Some of these steps which I could put it into three buckets. So cultivate devotion or bhakti. So we know this, right? All of us have been going through Bhagavad Gita for minutes. So this is basically the ABCD, right? This is the anyone has to do these things as a simple, natural course of spiritual life. Associate with devotees. And then this is the A. Then B is books. Read the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita. That means the knowledge is coming from the scriptures. So without having the basic knowledge, how can we try to aspire for the end result of that knowledge? Vedas means knowledge. So to get that knowledge, one needs to read the scriptures. And for us, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita has everything. Nothing more is needed. Many people think, I need to go and read something else. Prabhupada has not given this, Prabhupada has not given this. In that sampradaya that is given, I want to go deeper into that study. Okay, fine, Prabhupada has given everything, and everything is there in Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, and Chaitanya Charitamrita. There could be different flavors with some other, thing. But that is not what is important, right? We are not here for entertainment. We are here to develop ourselves, and Prabhupada has given whatever is needed. Then the third one is chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. This is the process. We do everything to come to this point of chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra 24/7. That's all. And the fourth is honor prasadam, diet, ABCD, association, books, chanting, and diet, honor prasadam. These four things, if one is able to do very consistently, then what we saw earlier, the giving up of the ego and the purification, the internal whatever cleansing required will happen by and large. Follow the regulative principles, the 4 regulative principles that have been given. Engage in the 9 processes of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam, all of these things, Archanam, all of these things, or any one of these things alone will also help us come to our. It's about practice, right? This is basically the practice. I have got completely disoriented going in the opposite direction. Now I need to be corrected back into the normal course. So there is a step-by-step process. It is scientific. It is not some speculative process. So science means there are certain steps. If you do those steps, it will automatically yield results. So we want to say become an instrument in the hand. How to become an instrument in the hand of the Lord? You follow the process. Science means follow the steps, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, and when you do that you get result. Clear. There is absolutely no way a result will not come. Then it is not science, and spiritual knowledge is perfect science. Krishna says, right, Vijnana Sagitam. in one of the verses he says, this science, this is important. And how all of these things are not theory, it is practically to be done in terms of active service. If one is engaged in serving the Lord, when you say serving, it is not a mundane thing, right? We will see that also in another slide. But at a high level, when we say service, active service, one should be engaged. What he will engage in, how to engage in are a different thing. But that concept, what we said, never be attached to not doing things, right? We saw in the previous slide. Therefore, we should be doing things. And what we should be doing is active service. If we are not active in active service, we will slowly lose the interest, because we are not at that elevated stage where we can constantly chant 24/7. Not, maybe some of you are, but by and large it is not possible. For us to be keeping in that mode, one needs to be in the association of devotees, engage in active service. If that is not there, that enthusiasm will completely become zero. Enthusiasm will just go away. Prabhupada said, that's one, I would have said it many times, but I don't mind saying it as many times. Sometimes we think, devotional life means, we have to only be reading scriptures, this, that, and all. That is all great, that is fine. And even so, one time Prabhupada, around midnight, he was not well at that time. He was, toward the end of his stay in this material world. Actually after this time, he revived himself. And then again he went into the mode of going to go back. So at that time he was very sick, so supposed to be sick. So he was like that, in that state of mind to go back to Godhead. So, but he was also worried, this organization is there, if I leave now, how it will work. So in the middle of the night, around 1 o'clock or something, he called one particular devotee, I forget the name. So he was sleeping deeply and someone came and called him, Prabhupada wants to meet you. So he came, suddenly he woke up and he said, what is so important now at the middle of the night, Prabhupada is calling me. So Prabhupada asked, so what does it take for this moment to go on nicely? So naturally devotees, what we have to say, we need to become strong in the scriptural understanding, we need to have your blessings, right? These are standard phrases, Guru Maharaj, your blessings, if you empower, anything can happen, all these kind of dialogues. So he says these things. So Prabhupada listens all this carefully, but he does not show any major acknowledgement of what he said. Then suddenly Prabhupada said, enthusiasm, organization. See, these two words, enthusiasm and organization, has got nothing to do with any of the things which I have listed out here, right? Enthusiasm and organization. So, what I was trying to arrive at is, we cannot simply be enthusiastic and doing our chanting, not possible, without active service, and that's where organization comes into play. We have a platform, and within that platform we have the association of devotees, and we have all the tools which are required to keep us engaged, to keep us hooked on. We all have our own nature, right? Someone likes to keep talking, like me, maybe, till someone says, stop, Prabhu, it's late, I will keep on talking. It's my nature. Maybe, maybe acquired nature. I was not like this earlier. But now, anyway. But there are some people who wants to sing, always sing nicely. Some people want to be organizing things all the time, they want partying. Like this, many different things are there. But how can we do all of that in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead? That means I have an independent nature, I have likings, I have dislikes. Can I engage in those which I have liking positively? Again, prescribed has to be built into that. And be active. And when I am active in this kind of environment, then my chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra will go on. Otherwise, slowly it will die down, or fastly it will die down. Then we will be back to square one. This is very important. Then develop inner purity, what we discussed. There is a nice verse in the 16th chapter. There are 3 verses. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhir Jnana Yoga Vyavastitihi Dhanam Damascha Yajnascha Swadhyayas Tapa Arjavam Ahimsa Satyam Akrodas Tyaga Shantir Apaishunam Daya Bhuteshva Luptvam Marjavam Hrir Achapalam Tejah Kshama Dhritihi Saucham Adroho Nati Manita Bhavanti Sampadam Daivam Abhija Tasya Bharata. It's a big verse, but every word here is very important. Prabhupada has written 5-6 pages of purport for this. He says, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy, and from passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. So this is important. How do we develop that inner purity? If we are able to even understand what is written here, forget about doing it. Even if you are able to understand the depth of what is written here, even if some qualities are developed, actually that cleanliness of the inner thing will happen very quickly. So these things we can go on, but I am only highlighting the top ones. So with that, we have some basic things in place. Then practice surrender. This is the last one. So how is practice surrender? So, no Prabhu, I am independent. It's difficult to surrender. That word is bad word in my vocabulary. I am a rebellious person. I mean, we are, really speaking, without exception, if we are in this material world, we are rebellious. That is why we are here in the first place. I can call myself, oh no, I am so humble, I am so down to earth, everything. But ultimately, I am rebellious. Facing the reality is important. But so therefore, in that situation, how do we do this? So the first thing is confidence. Having faith that the Lord is your protector and maintainer. That is difficult to understand. Because I am in that rebellious nature, I don't have confidence in the Lord. Oh, this is all fine. It is said, Bhagavad Gita is saying, every day we are hearing class. But according to me, that will come. According to me means that is the trap. We don't have confidence or faith in the scriptures, in the acharyas. We can say, no, I have faith, but I am not able to do it. But practically, because we don't have faith, we are not able to do it. Right? If a mother is a child is to, waiting for the child to come, and it's getting very late, at that time, what is her priority? If she is really having that love for that child, will the most important TV serial which is happening on the screen, will that attract, or that anxiety for that child will be there? You can imagine this. It is very easy, very clear to understand how that mother will behave. So she likes doing the other one, but then this is the necessity that the more attachment to the child automatically pushes her to think that even though the most important TV serial which she likes to see is running, she is not at all keen to see that one. So like that, if you have the faith in the Lord, these things will come. But while we say lip service, they say, I'm not saying we are acting. That is because that has not gone deeper into our heart. That is why the earlier things, whatever we said, as we do, this faith will develop. Then humility. That humility means here realizing that our individual strength is limited, but as an instrument of Krishna, our potencies is boundless. So humility means not simply thinking, oh Prabhu, I am useless. Anytime you tell someone to do a service, no Prabhu, I am still not that much advanced. No. It is not because of my great advancement that I can do things. It is the ulta. I am meek and humble and I have no capacity. This is how people will have to think, devotees have to think. I have absolutely zero potency. I mean, zero ability, not potency, ability. But when I become an instrument in the hands of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I can do things which are unimaginable. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langa ayate girim yat kripatamaham vande Shri Gurun Deenatarinam Paramananda Madhavam. That means even if you are, let's say, a lame person, but by the mercy of the Guru you can climb mountains. Even if you are dumb, you can give a wonderful lecture by the mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead or mercy of the spiritual master. This is humility, realizing that our individual strength is limited, but as an instrument of Krishna, our potencies is boundless. So, engage in service, not relying on our strength, but relying on the authority, relying on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That, I am doing for you whatever. Prabhupada, example, he says, right, I have no qualification, I don't even know how they speak, I can't speak like them. But I am going simply because, I'm talking about Prabhupada going to the US when he was thinking like that. I am going because my spiritual master has ordered me. You make me dance the way you want me to dance. I have no capacity. This is Prabhupada, but he was so supremely confident. There was no person more confident than Prabhupada, any day, clearly. But he was the most humble of persons. This is the combination. Dedication, use one specific talent as a service to Krishna. So as I told you earlier, whatever your talent are, use that. That is the way of serving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are good in finance, you are good in oratory skill, you are good in music, you are good in writing, you are good in organizing. Whatever you are good in or average in, just engage that ability in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Practice what we preach. Example, we say, Prabhu, Prabhu. What is the meaning of Prabhu? Prabhu means master. Do I really look at the other person as Prabhu? That means, do I look at myself as a humble and meek person and consider that, give respect to everybody else? Do I do that? Do I consider, we are saying, no, I have to give up my ego, means I need to become humble in that sense. Therefore, I should be able to see everybody as part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Not that I am big. I need to think everybody is better and good, and I am trying to learn from them. Stay calm in both success and failure, knowing that the player knows the rhythm of the song better than the instrument does. Right? The example of the flute. Flute does not have to invent any rhythm. The blower of the flute will know that. You simply act as per his direction. Shift focus from what can I get to how can I serve. This is very important, right? Anything that we do, immediately we see what is my benefit in that. But instead, how I can benefit others, how this can serve, how it can be helpful to the, in the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So if you are able to think in these terms, that, and even thinking first, forget acting, thinking in these terms leads to action. And as we keep acting, these are, it's not simply a theoretical thing. As we experience something, as we do something, there is some development which
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, can't hear you.
Yeah, let's wait for Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, can you hear me? Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Okay. So with this few pointers, I will end the session. If there are any specific questions and comments, welcome. I am sorry for the interruptions in between.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you for that session. Of course, with this 4 points that you have elucidated, I think we can be a perfect devotee.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes, and there
Yeah,
are so many
definitely.
things. There are so many things we have tried to put a few of them across. But as Prabhupada says, that even if you do a few things correct in what is given in Bhagavad Gita, that is good. We can't do everything, but even if you do a few of those things, I think we will progress in leaps and bounds. Thank you for
Yes,
sharing
Prabhu.
that, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanavad Pranam, Prabhu.
Dandavat Pranam.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी धन्यवाद प्रणाम
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Dhanavad
Krishna. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. Thank
Hare
you,
Krishna,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji. Dhanavad Pranam. Thank you so much for your class. Hare Krishna devotees. Dhanavad Pranams.
Dhanavad pranams to
हरे कृष्ण
everybody.
प्रभु जी
Dhanavad
धन्यवाद
Pranam.
प्रणाम थैंक यू हरे कृष्ण धन्यवाद प्रणाम
Okay, thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Tantra Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Over to you, Sri Hari Prabhu.